everyone, are you well? Today I'm going to become Dr. Frankenfurter and chop up some plastic animals and reimagine them as monsters. Well, it is that time of month, I guess. So on the slab today is a hippopotamus and a ram, who we shall affectionately call Mulder and Scully. Not the most original names in the world, I would agree, but fitting for what lies ahead. Full disclaimer, this is a video I've gone back to and reimagined, reworked and redone the voiceover on, because this was another video that had a copyright slapped on it around a year ago by some shady, devious person who sits behind a desk and just files these copyright strikes over videos like he's squatting flies on a hot sunny day. Was I bitter? You bet I was. And I vowed I'd always rectify the strike, so here's my scary monster build filmed about a year ago. So let's start scratching that build. As you can see, I'm gonna swap one half of Mulder's body for one half of Scully's and vice versa. And not content with the half and half body, I go full Caitlyn Jenner and start swapping limbs as well. Now, this build was for a friend's son who wanted me to make some cool night lights for Halloween, and if you spotted the poster at the start with the flying saucers zapping up a cow in a field, that's what I took my inspiration from, but kind of reverse engineered the scene, so my version would be the flying saucer dropping two scary monsters onto the field. That blue sheet is EVA foam. I love working with this stuff. I keep telling you I do, but I do. It can hide many mistakes, and what I'm going to do with the EVA foam is cut them into tiny panels. Using my long pointy thing, I'll punch some holes around the edges to make it look like it's a panel, and then just stick them across the seams of Mulder and Scully so it looks like stitches. Then I take out the world's worst Dremel. Actually, I had someone ask me why I call the drill that, so I shall explain. It's a USB charge drill, which is great, for about 2 minutes. Then the battery drops down to 1% and won't drill into anything, so I'm forever charging it. And if you take one piece of advice away from this video, that is, do not buy a USB drill. Just get one that is a plug-in. They're a lot faster and they'll never lose charge. I found some random wood screws and thought it would be fun if I put some of them into Scully's butt. And maybe that's a Freudian thing and has a deeper meaning. I'll let you decide on that. Next came the sticky gems. I've many shapes and sizes of these things, and usually after trying to get these tiny annoying little gems off the plastic sheet only for them to whiz around the man shed and just fly off everywhere, I often find them in the most random of places on my body when I'm showering. I found one in my belly button the other day, and no, before you start thinking I build these things while I'm dressed, I don't, and that would be just weird. Weirdos. Anyway, I used the gems as rivets to vajazzle Mulder and Scully before getting some hair keepy-uppy things that ladies use, as this would be perfect as some kind of wiring to make Mulder and Scully more robotic-like. And we look at that, we're just over 4 minutes, so today's code word is, drumroll please, riff-raff. Remember, if you're going to leave a comment, put that in at the start so I know that you got to this without falling asleep and falling into a deep coma. So basically I just kept going on and just kept adding little bits and pieces and just adding greeblies to Mulder and Scully, and I vajazzled Scully's butt. There we go, that's another Freudian thing. Let's move on. I bought 2 cheap plaques from the Euro or Dollar store that had some inspirational quotes on them. I'm going to turn them over and use the normal side to use as the basis for the figures, just using super strong PVA glue here, nothing fancy. You can get this from any hobby store. The only tip I can give you is on PVA glue is don't use the school branded stuff. That's very watery and takes a long time to set. The strong PVA glue I find sets faster and keeps things stuck down longer. And as you can see, I primed Mulder and Scully with a rattle can of black primer. Again, look for the spray paint that is suitable for plastic. It'll stick better and give you a better surface to work on. Next, I did a light dry brush of Steampunk Copper using paints from Green Stuff World. Shameless plug. Yes, still waiting for their call on a sponsorship, by the way. Here's a close-up of Scully's boat. I'm pretty sure it doesn't look like that in real life. If it does, that's my dream shattered, and not body shaming, but man, has she let herself go. Well, as you can see, when you do a light brushing of the copper, it sort of like starts making everything, as Morrigan's Creation says, pop and bring all the details out. So that's all I did there, and then just went in with a bit of colour, which was a bit of blue and some sort of like, I think it was a khaki colour, just to bring out some of the little bits of detail. And that was about it. So that's how I reimagined and reworked this 15-minute video that had a copyright strike on it down to about 8.5 minutes. And all that's left for me to say is, if you've stuck it this far, thanks very much. If we've learnt one thing today, dry brushing is brilliant, and yes, I do have an obsession with Dana Scully. And until next time, keep scratching that build, everybody. Thanks for watching.